Morning, Om Shanti. Welcome.
Good morning, Om Shanti.
Good morning, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good morning.
Good morning, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good morning.
Morning, Om Shanti, everyone.
Morning, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good morning. So today the thought that had emerged last week was to go deeper into the consciousness of being timeless. So it's like the whole aspect of time. It's deeply connected with our state of mind, with our thoughts. So what exactly is time? Time is, it's like from one event to another event, the duration we say it is time. And it's like the past is stored inside somewhere in the mind, and the future is something that I hope for. It's also something that I create in the mind first. And so there is such a deep connection between thoughts and time. And so in this beautiful month of January, where we are all practicing and experiencing silence, and nature also is helping us do that. So the thought was, as we practice being, the word we use it, say bodiless means, or formless, beyond the physical, to also explore this beautiful experience of being timeless. Timeless. So time is something that belongs to the physical world. We as spiritual beings are actually naturally timeless. Like when we go to sleep, whatever happens when we are sleeping, we don't know, because during those hours we have lost track of time. Because time is it belongs to the physical world. And the soul, the spiritual being, is not of the physical world. We are in this physical world, but we are not of this physical world. And so the state of being timeless, it allows me to easily also be egoless and viceless and bodiless. And the thought was, today we will explore some of these thoughts and experiences on how to go beyond time, to just experience that reality beyond time. And further strengthen our spiritual experiences. The slide visible? Yeah.
Yes, Saurabhai.
Yes. Thank you.
So living timeless. The way we perceive time is so interesting. It's like when we were growing up, I remember we used to have a pendulum clock, a wall clock. And so as the pendulum moves from one end to the other end, it is like a second, and then the next second, then the next second. And these days, now everything is digital, so we have digital clocks on our phones. Before all that, there were also this hour, this glass where it's like when a certain time is completed, then that much amount of sand has gone into the next, into the bottom half, and then the top half, and then the bottom half, like that. And so living timeless is to explore this consciousness, which is my inner reality also. And so the word timeless also goes with, we say tireless. Tireless. The more I think about time, like in terms of I have to do this happened, that happened. Yeah. So either past or future. It's like all that which is a part of the story makes the soul heavy. And that's where the mind feels tired. And so timeless allows me to also be tireless. It's like the mind stays fresh in the moment. And so one thing that is completely timeless is this moment. This moment is timeless. So past and future, there is some, we say it has passed or it will come. There is associated time to it. But this moment is timeless. Every moment. And so living timeless, it's like when I go beyond this entire story and explore this dimension of being timeless, that also allows me to very naturally live in this moment, which is timeless. Timeless also goes with ageless. It's like as time increases, we also tend to age. It's like kids, they are very, very, very young. And so their mind is very uncomplicated, very simple. But as we grow up, when we learn different things of how to do this, how not to do this, then the thinking also becomes a little complicated. So as we age, it's like our thoughts also become a little complicated. And so very simple thinking, a simple mind, it's like ageless. So I'm like a very young child. It's like the soul. Actually, the soul is ageless because the soul doesn't age. It is the body that ages. The soul doesn't age because the soul is eternal. And so living timeless allows me to also just be naturally in that consciousness and enjoy that consciousness. And just like a child enjoys every moment, the soul also begins to enjoy every moment. So then living timeless is also then living in the present, living in the moment. It's like timeless. It's like any story has a beginning, middle, end. There's time associated with it. Timeless is when I just see the entire story together fully. Then I'm not, that is what we call as the thinking that is complete whole. And that's the vision that the divine also has. And that's why the divine God is also timeless. And we spiritual beings are also timeless. And so the more we just switch our reality from the doing world to the being world. This morning we're also studying this, like effort lies in doing and attainment lies in being. So when I'm being, I am myself. It's like there is no time, time stops. I'm just being in silence, timeless. And timeless is eternal, eternal is real. Real is incorporeal. It is subtle. And so living timeless allows me to experience the subtlety. And subtle is powerful, the subtlety and the power of the consciousness of the mind. So to naturally be aware of myself, the being versus the doing. So the human mind. Human mind is a tunnel through which future is becoming past through the present. Future is becoming past through the present. Such a deep connection between mind and time. So if someone asks us, oh, where does past exist? Where does past exist? We often talk about how to forget the past or how to get over the past. But where is the past? Past has already passed, right? But where is it? So it is stored in the mind. It is stored in the mind. So it's like everything gets recorded somewhere. And so human mind, so the observer is allowing this transition to happen naturally. It's the future becoming past through the present. Through the present. So if just right now, if I just take, let's say I take 1 minute, and in this 1 minute, I just focus on just being in this moment. Yeah. Just take. Just 1 moment of silence. Let us just experience this 1 minute of silence. So this 1 minute just passed, this 1 minute, but it seemed longer than usual. So it's like my thoughts are linked to my experience of time. So when the mind is rushing, I feel I have no time. When the mind is silent, I feel I have all the time. And so a silent mind is timeless. Timeless. And so eternal thoughts of true peace, love. They allow the mind to be silent. And so there is a lot of time. But any thought of rooted in this physical story makes the mind rush. And then I feel pressured by time. There is also sometimes this time consciousness. I become conscious of the time. I become conscious of, I have to do this, then this, then this, then this. It's like an ant, always busy, but has lost the larger picture. So being timeless, just being silent. And in that silence, I experience the timeless state. When we discuss about time, very famous scientist we generally talk about is Einstein, Albert Einstein, because he completely changed the perception of physics from classical physics to this new quantum physics through his theory of relativity. And in that, so the way he thought about it was so very interesting. So he was in a train, and he took one train, to go back to his work and then to come to work. As he was going from his work to his home in the train, he was seeing like a clock. It was ticking. This was ticking. This clock was in a building outside, some building, and he was passing. And so Einstein was very good in thought experiments. So what he thought was, okay, if I increase the speed of the train, then how would I see the clock? And so he said, if I travel with the speed of light, I just assume I travel with the speed of light, then how would I see this 1 second? And he said, okay, I won't see it because it'll be frozen. I'll be with the speed of light, it'll be frozen. So then I won't experience time. I'll be timeless. And so he said, then time is linked with motion. He said, time is just something we invented to make motion seem simple. So Einstein had this beautiful theory of relativity where he combined the dimension of space and time. And so time he described as a fourth dimension. And he said, past, future, and all the time actually exists together. And the human consciousness is the observer that can actually see the time in its entirety. Even some souls who have had near-death experiences, what they say is, when they left the body, they just saw their entire journey of life in one moment, like a three-dimensional, like a panoramic view. There was no yesterday, or there was no like 5 years, 10 years back. No, everything was in this moment. So the soul was completely timeless. And so again, so time is linked with this physical story, the physical world, motion. There's a very nice, another thought experiment that Einstein did we have a little clip about it. I'll just share that, where he describes this whole concept. Just play that.
Albert Einstein is famous for his thought experiments that tested the limits of human knowledge. One example is his twin experiment. One twin stays on Earth while the other speeds away in a spaceship. According to Einstein's special theory of relativity, the twin on the spaceship will age slower. How much slower depends on the spaceship's speed, and therein lies the key to manipulating time. Imagine 5 baby Einsteins are born on Earth on March 14, 1879. One stays on Earth. The other 4 get in spaceships to return to Earth on March 14, 1979. Each spaceship travels away and back at different speeds. The first travels at 50% of the speed of light. The second at 75%. The third 99%. And the fourth at 99.9999999% of the speed of light. Now let's fast forward. March 14th, 1979 on Earth. Earth Einstein is 100 years old. Einstein on ship 1 is 87 years old. Einstein on ship 2 is 66 years old. Einstein on ship 3 is 14 years old. And Einstein on ship 4 is 1.5 days old. No spaceship around can reach these speeds. But it's still fun to explore the possibilities with our own thought experiments. It's what Einstein would have done.
It's quite interesting how aging was linked with that speed with which that the rocket will travel. And so that's why it's like in meditation, when we practice going beyond the physical story, we are actually taking ourselves completely beyond time. Completely beyond time. And just like when the last baby was traveling almost 100%, then he didn't age at all. Although from Earth's perspective, it was 100 years. But from that perspective, it was almost 0. And so it's like this dimension where just the spiritual being exists is completely timeless. There's no time. And that's why in meditation, the more we experience that eternity, we are tasting the timelessness, completely timeless. And so I may be busy doing things in this physical story, but then I take a moment and I just even larger than the speed of light, because the spiritual being is not limited by any physical speed. So I travel and I experience the timeless, eternal home, the dimension of silence, and then I come back. That completely makes my mind fresh. That's why in meditation it is so important. And then, like today we were discussing like 2 states of mind. One is a yogi, one is that someone who has yoga. So a yogi actually stays in the timeless world. And that's why a yogi is then also a master of time, creator of time. And someone who has yoga would be here on the physical story level, will go up and then come down, up and then come down. So for that moment, we're experiencing timelessness. But if I just stay here, that's where the divine stays, God. It's like in the timeless reality. So I ground my consciousness over there in silence. That's what we call as the awake consciousness, enlightened consciousness. And so I'm aware of this earth or this story as a story. And then I'm not flowing, so my thoughts are not flowing with time from the story perspective, but my thoughts are flowing from the eternal perspective, which is silent. And that's why, it's like Dadi Janki was, people experimented with her level of like thought waves. So whilst doing everything, even day-to-day life or things or talking, her brain waves were in that completely silent state that we have generally during deep sleep. Because as a yogi, she had mastered that consciousness, just being there constantly. And right now, the world needs such minds that are there constantly to bring silence into this earth, into this story. So we stay timeless, silent, and then carry that silence, bring that silence, that vibration here on this planet. It says, the timeless in you, the timeless in you. The soul is timeless, is aware of life's timelessness. So I'm aware of life's timelessness, the larger perspective, which is beyond the story level time, and knows that yesterday is but today's memory, and tomorrow is today's dream. Yesterday is today's memory, it's just a memory. And tomorrow is today's dream, just a dream. And the present moment is all you ever have. Ever have. And so in that timeless state, I'm able to just live this moment, present moment. And when I live present moment, moment by moment, then I can just be constantly in yogi state of mind. When we practice having constant practice, we say constant yoga, constant meditation. It just is that I just live in moment, every moment. I'm constant. Because I'm constant there. So I'm timeless there, and then timeless here. It's a beautiful quote by Eckhart Tolle. He says, the formless dimension of life is this moment. This moment is timeless and formless, the eternal itself. This moment is timeless and formless, the eternal itself. So just experiencing that dimension, formless. That's what we're actually practicing in meditation. That's what meditation is really. Formless dimension, dimension that is beyond form. Formless dimension of life is this moment. This moment is timeless and formless. So when I'm completely living in the soul, in the formless dimension, I'm timeless, I'm connected, I'm aligned with the flow of life. And there's so much power in just being in this moment, being present in this moment. And when I live life in this moment, then every moment is naturally, the feeling is that I've been gifted this beautiful moment to experience life. And that's why when the consciousness is completely pure, that's the experience that the consciousness has. We can sometimes call it the golden age, but that is the experience. It's living moment by moment. In truth, in timelessness. So formless is like spaceless, no space, and timeless. And then the mind automatically becomes viceless. Then there's no effort to get rid of the weaknesses. Because any weakness or vice, we say anger, greed, ego, anything, is rooted in the story. When I just experience this state, then naturally there's no experience of any ego, any vice, any negative thought. And like today we were discussing, merciful feelings in the mind is filled with merciful feelings, because that's the truth of the soul, that we are merciful because we are children of the divine. And we all live in that timeless world. It's just living in this timeless moment. Timeless moment. A timeless moment is lived every moment in fulfillment. The soul is full. Timeless, soulful. And then there is a natural flow of this divine energy from the divine through the soul into the world. Timeless moment. And the mind is absorbed in that blissful state. Just bliss, pure bliss. And then the heart is happy, content. And naturally the feelings are to give, to give. So in that moment, in that timeless moment, I have one thought, 1 second, one breath. one thought, 1 second, one breath. Like last week you were discussing, no? One thought. In Hindi it is called Samay Shwas Sankalp. Samay is 1 second, Shwas is breath, Sankalp is thought. It's all connected. So breath is connected with the physical energy, breath. Because when the body is breathing, it's alive, breath. Second is time. Experience of time. Thought is that sankalp in the mind. So when I'm in this timeless moment, then all these three energies are working in harmony together with the soul. It's like these create the drama, the story. They're working, so the soul and the drama are working in harmony. So in 1 second, one breath, one thought. And then I move to the next, to the next, to the next. Moment by moment. And this is the experience of an awake consciousness. And it's so simple. One is so simple. Today also we were discussing just to make it very simple. Simple yoga. Natural. And this state is very natural. Just one. And we call it the one is just like last time I said, none but one. Just the one, the divine. One thought, 1 second, one breath. That's why we say it's like these three energies that the soul is facilitating, the more I just use it for the divine, towards the divine. So all my thoughts towards the divine, or the divine. My breath means my physical energy, like engaging in karma that is for service for the divine, in remembrance of the divine. And second, every second I just spend with the divine. So it's so easy and natural to have a silent mind in yoga, in meditation, all the time, without any labor, without any effort. So effort is when I make it complicated, I make it 2, 3, then it takes time, for it to bring back to one. One thought, 1 second, one breath. And so natural flow then takes place. And so in that silence, then I feel the time has stretched. As if time is elastic, it's stretched. Just like that rocket didn't experience any time, didn't age. Time stretches in silence. It stretches in silence. Silent mind, stretch the time. And I see the infinite, the eternal. Whenever I remember when I was studying, whenever there was examination, I used to feel pressured by time. I just have 1 week left, or 2 days left, or 1 day left. I remember whenever I would think that, oh, I have just a week left, I have to do this, then I would feel pressured, more so just by the thought that there's just 1 week left. And that would decrease my efficiency. But then someone told me that I had practiced that. I was saying, oh, 1 week? No, I have 24 hours every day. So I have 7 days. So 7 times 24. So I have that many hours left. So I wouldn't say that I have 7 days or a week left. I'll say I have these many hours left. And so if it even comes to, I'll say 1 hour left before the exam, I'll tell them, 3,600 seconds, lot of time, take it easy. And whenever I would kind of try and stretch time, I would forget about the time and just focus on, okay, what I have to do now. Because many times what happens is, what I have to do is very simple, but I take a lot of pressure by just thinking about, there's less time, there is less time, there is less time. And so in silence, I just stretch the time. And so there's time for everything. It's like seeing the entire story. The entire story. Like we said in the framework of Einstein and the theory of relativity, he suggested like all the past and the future exists together as a fourth dimension. And so this entire story means, we say, the entire cycle of time, the entire story of the soul. So we have a cycle of day and night, we have a cycle of week, Monday to again Monday, we have a cycle of months, right? They repeat, seasons repeat. In the same way, this entire cycle of this journey of the soul is like a cycle. And the consciousness goes through different stages. We say the golden, the silver, the copper, the iron, then the confluence. And so this entire story, to just see it together. So right now we are at the confluence, end of iron, beginning of the golden. We're just seeing everything together. This is what we also call as, in Hindi we call Swadershan Chakra, means self-realization. So we just see the entire story. And when I see the entire story, I'm not pulled in the illusion of time. Then I'm not time conscious. I'm not pressured anymore. I'm not role conscious. I'm beyond the story. And so let us spend some time. We have a reflective, meditative video where we will experience the journey of the soul through time. Through time. We call it Tao of the Traveler. So let us, for these few moments, we'll forget the entire story, the role. We'll just see ourselves as the spiritual being, a soul, and on this journey through time. Let us just experience that as a meditation.
The traveller is the diamond spark, the soul. The traveller is the jewel between the eyes. The traveller is you. The traveller, the diamond spark, the soul, stands alone. Therefore, the wise traveller becomes the sage, only holding on to what is permanent.
The traveler is the soul. Soul is the traveler. The soul is you. consciousness is everything. Losing soul consciousness, the traveler carries the 1,001 fears with all their names. These all are extra weight, unnecessary baggage. The road will seem longer, the journey more difficult. Remember who you are and travel light.
Remember who you are and travel light.
Truth is the companion, faithful through time. And so the wise traveler never fears solitude. And you are the traveler, unique and undivided, never absorbed.
You do not need to bend time to find me. It is all easier than you have been told.
Simply change your consciousness. Know yourself.
Know yourself. You are the jewel between your own eyes. Know this and come. Come and know me with your mind.
Father and child. Union
of silence. This is yoga.
You, the incorporeal, with your incorporeal Father. Relationship.
Just for a moment, just where you are, let your thoughts slip into silence. Be still.
Be still.
Just the soul, the traveler, the eternal traveler. And in this state, in yoga, where the soul is just absorbed in the silent bliss of the divine, the state is like a cocoon. The cocoon of silence, where the soul realizes and experiences the self, the divine, and time. And so we generally say in meditation, we have self-realization, God realization, and time realization. These are the three aspects. Self-realization, who am I? God realization, who is the divine? What is my relationship with Him? And time realization. So in this cocoon, in this absorbed state, I'm easily able to experience the three. And that's what yoga is. And that's what this time has gifted us. Brahma has gifted us this time to just experience, spend time in this cocoon, so that we can then develop wings like angels. And soon it will be time for angels to come and serve, for all of us to serve as angels. And from this cocoon will emerge the angels that will then share this vibration with the world. Like today we were listening, right? It's like silence will then reveal this energy of the divine. This silence and the cocoon of silence will then reveal so that everyone can then experience this beautiful existence. And then it's like every moment is lived in perfection. So living timeless, and then every moment is lived in perfection, living in this perfect moment. Perfect moment. Because with this awakened consciousness, it's like every moment is perfect. Perfection lies. There's no perfection out there that I have to strive for a perfect moment in life. But this moment is perfect. When I live in this timeless moment, I live in perfection. I live in perfection. And this is called the perfect stage, the complete stage. We say we have to reach that complete stage, or this, what is the aim of life, we say? To have that state of mind. That is the state of mind. Just to live in the perfect moment. Just to see the perfection of this moment. And this mind just appreciates the beauty of everything, everyone. Everything is a gift. And everyone is a gift. So living timeless and living in this perfect moment, perfection of this moment. So thank you. There is, thank you for your time and presence. There's another little clip. It is a conversation between a father and a son. And we can also take this as a conversation between the soul and the divine, of just witnessing the perfection of this moment. So we'll just watch that little clip where we will just experience that perfection. And then I'd like to hear from everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Om Shanti. Shanti, appreciate all your time and presence. Please feel free to share your thoughts. Shanti.
Om Shanti Saurabai.
Shanti.
Thank you for giving us this moment. It's timeless. It's beautiful. You spend so much time every week, so appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Shanti.
Appreciate.
Om Shanti, Saurabai.
Shanti, Kusumbai.
Beautiful. We talked about the power of silence, and we are learning power of silence today again. Thank you so much. It's really powerful presentations and a lot of knowledge. So key points I'm taking is timeless is tireless, easeless, ageless, enjoy every moment and live in perfection.
Beautiful.
So, three other sets are Samay Swas Sankalp, thought, 1 second, 1 breath. And others are in meditation, important are 3: self-realization, God realization, and time realization. And also other important point is silent mind, stress the time. Thank you. Om Shanti. Thank you, Saurabai.
Thank you. Kusumbai.
Beautiful
Beautiful.
presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very nice.
Saurabai, Om Shanti.
Kaval Bhai, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Very nice presentation. As usual, it's your efforts are, invaluable. Thank you very much for this. And the thing that I like was that the human mind is like a tunnel. Future is becoming the past through the present. That was very nicely said. And if you don't mind, I'll try to say something which is related to more engineering sort of thing that, when we go through the transients, we come to a steady state. And at sometimes the transients, like the time dependent things, have to be stretched to infinity to get to the steady state. But then there are some which you can attain faster than that. So in my opinion, that all these things are connected, and once we can get over the transients, we will reach the steady state, and which is the divine state that we will arrive at, which should not be affected by the externals. So that's a little bit of my, and I mean, there are so many things everybody has said, the salient points, but these are my views, and thank you very much. Om Shanti.
Thank you. I appreciate your thoughts. Transient and steady state. Yeah. We solve a lot of such problems in transient versus steady state.
Om Shanti, brother. Om Shanti, brother. Yeah. Thank you for reminding us that every moment is a perfect, and we ourselves diluted with the memory of past and hopes for future. But if we forget that, then every moment is perfect, and we have to live in now, present. Thank you for reminding us that. Om Shanti.
Beautiful.
I also would like to say, read all Eckhart Tolle's books, and she's very fond of that. So we have a full collection of Eckhart Tolle's books.
Wow.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. It's a very nice book. It's called The Power of Now that he has written.
Power of now, right. Power of now.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I will highly recommend New Earth.
New Earth. Wow.
Very nice. That's what we are talking about, golden age.
Yes.
It is very connected.
Mm.
It's very nicely written. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other inspirations, thoughts? Thanks for all the comments everyone has left. Is Vivan there? Do we have our little angel Vivan?
Yes, I'm here. I was listening.
Hi. How are you, Vivan?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good, very good. Thank you. Would you like to share some of your thoughts?
Yeah, I really liked how you said the program. I really liked how you said that, how you said timeless and everything. Yeah, I liked it.
Thank you. Is your dad also with you? Ajay Bhai is there too.
Om Shanti Sarabhai.
Om Shanti, Ajay Bhai. How are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much for a very great presentation. And, the living timeless is the natural state of the soul. Right. And, when you live timeless, every moment is a perfect moment. So it's living with perfection. Very great saying. Thank you, Sarabhai.
Thank you. Can hear from Triratna Bhai. Is you're here? I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, hello. Thank you.
Hi.
Thanks, Sarva, and hi, everyone. Om Shanti. Yeah, this is my second session, and I was just to share with everyone. The last session I joined was by mistake. I was supposed to join. My sister shared this session for Saturday, and I by mistake joined last Sunday's session, and I was really really blown away, really, because I was not I wasn't expecting it. Was 1 and 0, the power of and the connection between 0 and 1, as we talked about. And today as well, I am really impressed. It's obviously, as you know, I am an engineer, and it's what we talked about earlier about transient and steady state. This is something we studied, and connecting that with time. It's really interesting. Obviously, I'm the start of the journey, so I guess I don't have much to add here, but I guess for me, I think it sort of defines what we have been hearing for a long time about living in the moment. I think if I were to define this by one sentence, or what I understood, is this means living in the moment. I think that sort of sums it up for me. Yeah, thank you. It was really good.
Thank you for joining us all the way from London. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's true. Living in the moment is the one sentence summary. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Can hear from Sister Joy if you're here, Sister Joy.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Sister Joy.
First of all, I just really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Brother Saurabh, again.
Thanks to you, Sister Joy.
Being the voice for God that helps us to understand our journey as a soul, and providing the knowledge that we need to continue to become one with God. Thank you for being that voice, Brother Saurabh.
Thanks, Sister Joy. Appreciate. Yeah, so when we come together, I myself learn so much, because it's just the flow that we can all feel, the divine bringing us all together and making us all move on this journey closer to Him.
Mhm.
That way.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but that way I am so grateful about Corona. So we all are like a one family now through
True.
Zoom.
True.
So that's the biggest gain.
Yeah, so true. Yeah,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, the spiritual growth that so many of us have had this past year in our special, very special family here. Never experienced anything like it. I would also say that the Power Now, I know it's an well, when I listen to it, it's an audio cassette, so it's audio, whatever it is now, probably just through your iPhone. They came out in the 90s, and I don't know how many times I listened to those cassettes.
Really? Wow.
Oh, unlimited, yeah, at that time. And then also, of course, I always love the visual and the whole process of transformation as we get a better idea what that is through the butterfly and then the cocoon stage. And I think this is really, for me, the first time the cocoon stage like really has helped me to pinpoint that that's not only just a transformation in the cocoon stage, but it's in that stage where we have the metamorphosis of the soul. Out of that silence and that stillness, then we come out and are able to be the expressions of whatever God's created us to be. Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. Metamorphosis. Yeah.
Saurabai, I would like to add one more thing in Samay Swas Sankalp. So thought and breath are related. So more our thought, number of breath per minute increases. So it says that a tortoise has the lowest breath per minute. That's why they live longer.
Wow.
Right? So lesser the thought. So once we come to the silent phase, soul conscious phase, the number of thought will be lesser and lesser, and then breath number will be on the lower side, and our life, that's the other way.
Yeah, very nice. Beautifully you've described it, Kusuman. Yes, absolutely. That's why in the golden age, the body ages very slowly. So, right. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, tortoise lives probably more than 100 years. So, right. Yeah, very nice. Yes. You can hear from Krishna Bhai, Bindu Ben. Here.
Thank you, Saurabh. Every Sunday I eagerly wait to hear from you, and wherein you share a lot of your wisdom to us and make us richer in knowledge. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Om Shanti, and thank you so much for the classes again, Raji. It's a little noise here, that's why I didn't want to.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti. From Suparna Ben, if you're able to share. Or Rajesh Ben, Naresh Bhai, if you're here also.
Om Shanti, brother.
Shanti.
Very, very powerful session, brother. Always very, very inspiring. Thank you for putting in all that effort for making it easier for us. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Do we have Rajesh Ben, Naresh Bhai also with us? Or Swati Ben? So it is, we have a blessing for everyone. Just So this one is for Sister Joy. Yeah. God's love molds you into a beautiful soul who can elevate the ordinary to the extraordinary with the power of peace. Thank you. Just try and put in the chat. Thank you, Sister Joy. And this is Saroj Pen. God's love gives you the special ability to see behind the masks and beneath the fears to the beautiful light in every heart.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Kaval Bhai, God's love molds your heart into a sacred space that can hold a respect for truth, an appreciation of life, and the utmost regard for others.
Thank you. That's nice. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Triratna Bhai, God's love nurtures your true nature, which is so serene it can cool a peaceless mind and melt a frozen heart, all without leaving a trace. Thank you, Bhai. And this one is for Krishna Bhai. Through the experience of God's love, the power of truth that shines in your heart becomes your greatest gift to the world.
Thank you very much, Sarabhai.
Thank you. Kusum Ben, God's love fills your heart to overflowing with the spiritual warmth that can heal the deepest wound and touch the coldest heart.
Thank you, Sarabhai.
Thank you. And this is for Kushal. God's love enables your head and heart to work in perfect harmony, such that you can honor your dreams while working with reality.
Kushal is here. He listened to your class.
Om
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Shanti. Thank you so much for joining. Would you like to share your thoughts? Anything you would like to add?
Actually, he said he knew that when you showed the Einstein video, he was telling me that when he, before that video came, he was telling me when the light, it goes to the speed of light, he will age only one day, and then it came out later 1.5 days.
Yeah, wow.
I did not know that. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was saying to me.
Yeah, amazing. Very nice. Yeah, this one is from Rupesh Bhai. In God's love, you learn to protect your peace through lightness of mind, generosity of spirit, and unwavering love for truth.
Thank you. Nripesh is at work today. Thank you.
And Rekha Ben, God's love creates within you a depth of compassion that can nurture the seed of what is right and transform the root of what is wrong.
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. This is for Bhartesh Bhai. God's love polishes you into a precious jewel whose heart shines with a commitment to honor others through the lens of your deepest values.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And our Adi, through God's love, you learn the language of the heart, enabling you to speak with sincerity and listen with compassion.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Suparna Ben, God's love empowers you to change thoughts of despair into wings of hope and melt stone hearts into oceans of love.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Bindu Ben, God's love molds you into a living lamp that provides guidance and hope to the world simply by remaining stable in feelings of peace.
Thank you so much, Sarabhai. Thank you, Baba.
And this is for Anil Bhai and the family. God's love enables you to give regard to everyone's ideas, which forms the basis of creating a world where all that rules is harmony.
That is beautiful. Thank you.
Completely filled with harmony. Thank you. And Vivan, God's love fills your heart with feelings of kindness, enabling you to overlook all that weakens and appreciate all that empowers.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you. And Ajay Bhai, God's love reinforces your capacity to remain still and calm, a healing state that can cut through webs of confusion and restores peace of mind.
Very nice. Thank you.
And this is for Rita Ben. Transformed in the light of God's love, you develop a depth of contentment in which friendships flourish, pure thoughts take root, and noble intentions rule.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you. And Rajesh Pen, God's love awakens within you genuine feelings of kindness that find expression in quiet acts of benevolence. Thank you. And this is for Naresh Bhai. God's love sparks within you as an overflowing of virtues, encouraging positive outcomes and elevated solutions to take root wherever you go. Very nice.
Thank you, Sarabhai.
Thank you.
हिंदी में बताएं अच्छा लगेगा.
हाँ जी. तो राजेश बहन का है कि परमात्म प्यार आपके अंदर करुणा भाव, दया भाव जागृत करता है, और जो आपके जो एक्ट्स ऑफ बेनेवलेंस यानी जो प्यार के जो एक्सप्रेशंस हैं उसमें वो दिखता है. और नरेश भाई, थैंक यू. और नरेश भाई, हाँ स्वाति बहन का है गॉड्स लव रीस्टोर God's love restores the power of purity in your golden heart, enabling you to awaken others to the brilliance of their own true worth. And बच्चों के लिए है God's love strengthens your capacity to forgive, empowering you to cut through the chains of despair and walls that divide to build bridges that unite.
इनके तो व्हाट्सएप करके भेज देना इनका जरा बच्चों को.
जी मैं भेजता हूँ.
सभी कर देंगे हम चारों का. अच्छा मम्मी का भी भेज दे, राजेश का भी भेज, राजेश बहन का भी भेज देना.
जी जरूर. Would you like to add anything from today's discussion?
मतलब ये तो है ही, मतलब कि अगर हम वर्तमान में जिए, प्रेजेंट में जिएंगे तो हमको मतलब उतना दुख भी नहीं होगा और फिर इच्छाएं भी उतनी नहीं होंगी, क्योंकि क्या होता है जो पास्ट होता है वो दुख देता है और फ्यूचर एंजाइटी बढ़ाता है, और ये जो एंजाइटी होता है वही हमको फिर प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करती है, क्या होगा कैसे, और उसी के लिए फिर हम इंतजाम करते हैं ज्यादा से ज्यादा, यहाँ तक कि अपने वर्तमान को भी हम भूल जाते हैं, वर्तमान को भी बलि चढ़ा देते हैं कई बार फ्यूचर अच्छा करने के लिए, लेकिन मालूम पड़े जब वर्तमान अच्छा नहीं हो फ्यूचर कैसे अच्छा होगा, तो इसलिए हम वर्तमान खराब कर लेते हैं अपना, फिर तो पता नहीं क्या होगा. तो ये है कि मतलब जैसे भी कहते हैं कि वर्तमान में ही रहना है हमको, जो हमारे पास है उसके लिए सोचे. जैसे एक कहावत भी है कि अगर हमारे हाथ में एक चिड़िया है तो झाड़ी में 4 चिड़िया से एक चिड़िया अच्छी है, तो झाड़ी 4 चिड़िया तो कभी उड़ सकती हैं, लेकिन जो हाथ में वो तो हमारे हाथ में ही है. तो जो हमारे पास है उस चीज को हम अपना समझें, जो इधर उधर से फिर हम यानी कि ये भी मेरा उसमें ना पड़े. मतलब ये मेरे को ऐसा लगा.
Beautiful. Thank you. Shanti. Very nice. And an angel has joined. iPhone. Om Shanti. This is for you. God's love leaves you shining with the natural beauty of a peaceful mind and a generous heart. Thank you so much. Great. So thank you, angels. Appreciate taking time out to join us today. And have a great rest of the day, week, weekend, and next week. Bye-bye. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good day.
Om Shanti. Good night.
Thank you.
Om
Thank you for
Shanti.
being with
Thank you.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Om
Thank you,
Shanti.
family.
Thank you, Naresh Bhai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.